Tesla's earnings call was very interesting and also exciting, I might add. I'll give you a shorter version about the event, and I'll also leave a short introduction from Elon Musk and his ambitions. It comes that earnings were much better than I expected. Also, Tesla will discontinue the Model S and Model X, and we'll talk about why. We are entering the future. Tesla reported quarterly earnings of 50 cents per share, which beat the analyst consensus estimate of 45 cents by 12.36%. This is a 31.51% decrease over earnings of 73 cents per share from the same period last year. The company reported quarterly sales of $24.901 billion, which beat analyst consensus estimate of $24.778 billion by 0.50%. However, it is a 3.14% decrease over sales of $25.707 billion the same period last year. Tesla says that it will further invest in the infrastructure needed to support clean energy and transport and autonomous robots in 2026. First-generation production lines for Optimus are being installed in anticipation for volume production. The Cybercab, Tesla Semi, and Megapack 3 are on schedule for volume production starting 2026. Tesla says that preparations continue in North America for production ramps of Tesla's Semi and the Cybercab, both commencing H1 2026. Plans to begin the Megapack 3 and Mega Block production at the Mega Factory in Houston in 2026. In Q1 of this year, we plan to unveil the Gen 3 version of Optimus. On January 16th, Tesla entered into an agreement to invest about $2 billion to acquire shares of Series E preferred stock of xAI. Tesla also said that in the first half of 2026, it plans to more than double the size of on-site compute in Texas in terms of the H100 equivalents. Gen 3 version of Optimus start production planned before the end of 2026, an eventual planned capacity of 1 million robots per year. We are currently building the Cortex 2 at the Gigafactory, Texas, to further increase our AI training compute capacity. Also, Tesla is starting this quarter to transition access to FSD supervised to a monthly subscription. Expect both domestic cathode material in Texas and LFP lines in Nevada to begin production in 2026. Tesla shares traded higher after the company reported better than expected Q4 financial results and will unveil the Gen 3 version of Optimus in Q1. $5.9 billion non-GAAP net income in 2025, $1.8 billion in the fourth quarter. Cash operating cash flow of $14.7 billion in 2025 and $3.8 billion in the fourth quarter. Free cash flow of $6.2 billion in 2025 and $1.4 billion in the fourth quarter. $7.5 billion increase in cash and investments in 2025 to $44.1 billion. Tesla said 2025 marked a critical year for Tesla as we further expanded our mission and continued our transition from a hardware-centric business to a physical AI company. We laid the foundation for the future of Tesla as we further advanced FSD supervised, launched our robo-taxi service, began installing production lines for the Cybercab, and fine-tuned our production-primed Optimus design while expanding our AI training infrastructure. However, Tesla's business model will be tested over the next months. Musk is turning his attention to expanding Tesla's AI capabilities. Musk warned that at the end of July, Tesla could have a few rough quarters.
We've updated the Tesla mission to Amazing Abundance. This is intended to send a message of optimism about the future. I think we're most likely headed to an exciting, amazing era of abundance, a future of universal high income, not universal basic income, but universal high income. And obviously along that way, we're going to keep improving safety, driving down the cost of goods, and getting people access to anything they need without compromise, and still making sure that the environment is great, nature is great, and people can have whatever they want, which seems like probably the best future as we increase vehicle autonomy and begin to produce Optimus robots at scale. We're making very, very big investments. So this is going to be a very big CapEx year, making big investments for an epic future. I think all these investments make a lot of sense. We'll continue to make sure that when we do spend capital, it is spent very efficiently. major investments in batteries and the entire supply chain for batteries. We're also going to be significant manufacturers of solar cells, and we're making massive investments in AI chips. It's time to basically bring the Model S and X programs to an end with an honorable discharge, because we're really moving into a future that is based on autonomy. And so if you're interested in buying a Model S and X, now would be the time to order it, because we expect to wind down S and X production next quarter, and basically start production of Model S and X next quarter. We'll obviously continue to support the Model S and X programs for as long as people have the vehicles, but we're going to take the Model S and X production space in our Fremont factory and convert that into an Optimus factory, which will, with the long-term goal of having 1 million units a year of Optimus robots in the current SX space in Fremont. Now, it's slightly sad. It is time to bring the SX programs to an end, and as part of our overall shift to an autonomous future. With respect to full self-driving and robotaxi, people are obviously following with very close attention the progress of FSD, and you can experience it for yourself. If you've got a Tesla, you notice with every software update, the car gets better and better at autonomy. We're able to do our first rides with no safety monitor in the car in Austin. These are paid rides, so these were selected paid rides with no safety monitor. Maybe as of maybe yesterday or so, we don't even have a chase car or anything like that. So these are just cars with no people in them, and no one's following the car in Austin. And then there will also be an opportunity, something we've talked about for a long time, for existing owners of Teslas to add or subtract their cars to the fleet. And I think probably the value of the Tesla, the sort of partial people adding or subtracting their cars to Tesla autonomous fleet. And we expect to have fully autonomous vehicles in somewhere between a quarter and half of the United States by the end of the year. With respect to energy, the Tesla energy team has done incredible work, and the growth rate on that is continuing to be very strong. And we're building more manufacturing capacity, and expect that and energy will have very high growth for really as far into the future as we can imagine. The solar opportunity is underestimated. We think the best way to add significant capability to the grid is, or not to the grid, let's say it's powering AI data centers, is solar and batteries on Earth and solar in space. That's why we're going to work towards 100 gigawatts a year of solar cell production, integrating across the entire supply chain from raw materials all the way to finished solar panels. Maybe a bit more about Optimus. We'll probably unveil Optimus 3 in a few months, and I think it's going to be quite surprising to people. It's an incredibly capable robot. And as I mentioned, we're replacing the SX line in Fremont with a million unit per year line of Optimus. Now, because it is a completely new supply chain, there's really nothing from the existing supply chain that exists in Optimus. Everything is designed from physics-first principles. So that means the normal S-curve of manufacturing ramp will be longer for Optimus than it is for products that have at least some portion of an existing supply chain. Like when everything's new, the production rate will be proportionate to the least lucky, least confident part of the entire supply chain. And if there's 10,000 things that need to go right, it only takes one to be slow to lag that. So it will be sort of a stretched out S-curve. I'm confident that we'll get to 1 million units a year in Fremont of Optimus 3. Optimus 3 really will be a general purpose robot that can learn by observing human behavior. So you can demonstrate a task, or literally verbally describe a task, or show it a task, even show it a video, and it will be able to do that task. So it's going to be a very capable robot. Long-term, Optimus will have a very significant impact on the US GDP. It will actually move the needle on US GDP significantly. In conclusion, there's still obviously many who doubt our ambitions for creating amazing abundance, but we're confident it can be done, and that we're making the right moves technologically to ensure that it does. Tesla's obviously never been a company to shy away from solving some of the hardest problems. I think that's kind of how you build value in a company, is you solve hard problems.
Musk warned that at the end of July, Tesla could have a few rough quarters. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would like to see more about Tesla and Elon Musk, you could watch this next. And don't forget to tune in on Monday with more updates on Tesla, Elon Musk, and his other companies. My name is Claudia, and goodbye.